What's going on, traders? Sandra O'Connell with Pristine Capital coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is June 28th, 2021. Please click the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content, and I will continue to make it for you. Today, we're going to talk about the price action in the indices. We're going to go under the hood and check out our sectors and style factors. We'll go through some of my trades for the day. We're going to cover options order flow. Before we get into all that, quick risk disclaimer. Nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. And last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any single one of my trades. All right, let's jump into it. So what did we have today? So today was a really crazy price action. So depending on what you were invested in, you either had like an awesome day or you had a horrible day. So let's jump into it. We'll dive into the details. S&P 500 is measured by the SPY, closed up 0.2% today, closed at a record. The NASDAQ up 1.22% today. Really nice run for the NASDAQ over the past month. But then we have the IWM small caps closed down 0.79%. And then we have the Dow Jones closed down 0.48%. So you can see definitely a tale of two tapes today. But let's look at this S&P 500 here. So we have, we're well extended above this monthly value area. We're above all the key moving averages. Look at what a difference about a week of trading can do. It's insane. Everybody got super bearish down here, and rightfully so. I mean, that was a really big red candle. But we've had nice price action ever since. And heading into this 4th of July weekend, I think there's an incentive to try to get this thing all the way up to 4290.25. This target level up here, I think it's a logical upside target, especially given how close we got for today's trading session. You can see we definitely are getting extended from this 20-day simple moving average. So that's when I start to think about, how much exposure do I have, how much risk I have on. But yeah, this has been, awesome rally, awesome price action. Let's jump over to the NASDAQ. We closed up 1.14%. This target here at this 14,616 spot, 25, is well in the cards here. We're within striking distance of it. The NASDAQ, also amazing rally. And you can see we are getting extended here in the NASDAQ. But overall, looking great. Russell acting suspect again. So every time it does this, I mention this on a lot of these videos, but the Russell, it'll have a really nice run. Look at this. Has a really nice run, and then it just starts acting suspect. And then it will just kind of drop off a cliff. So as of right now, this could be the time where it just breaks out to the upside. Maybe it is. But we're starting to see these red candles creeping in again. But we are above the key moving averages, and we're above that monthly value area. And then the Dow Jones closed down 0.46%. And you can see, we lost this monthly point of control. We lost the 20-day, but we closed above the 50-day simple moving average. So the Dow Jones kind of in no man's land here. Let's go over to our market breadth. And you can see, I noticed a lot of definitely euphoria and I don't want to say euphoria, but, people that were super pumped about what these growth stocks are doing. And I think that's awesome. We're investors, we're traders. You want to get pumped, when your holdings are doing well. I think that makes sense. But yeah, I see under the hood here, there was a lot of weakness today as well. So SPY, negative breadth. IWM, pretty horrible breadth. Dow Jones, horrible breadth. And then the Qs, good breadth. But even the Qs, we were at 70%. It's not like we were at 90% or something like that. So yeah, the breadth, definitely very interesting today. A lot going on here. Finviz heat map. Let's check it out. So awesome day for the FANG stocks and for the semiconductors. So looking at the semis, let's pull this up here. We'll go to our stocks. You can see a nice breakout for the semiconductors. Check this out. So we finally got the breakout. This has been, in the works for a while. We made attempt 1, attempt 2, and this is attempt 3 here. So yeah, really nice move for the semiconductor stocks. But then you can see, the financials sort of got obliterated. There were some headlines. Morgan Stanley announced some more share buybacks and a dividend. JP Morgan, I think, did something similar. So we'll have to see how those perform tomorrow. But yeah, energy sort of got obliterated. And these travel names also got obliterated. Sectors, you're going to see the same exact thing. This ARK fund and the solar energy fund are really doing very well right now. Really, all these ARK funds, check them out. So really, like, the innovation theme is back. And everything that's economically sensitive got destroyed today. So energy, dirty energy got destroyed. You can see the aerospace and defense got hit. And you can see as well the European financials got hit. Style factors, growth style factor was up 0.81%. And next leader was quality. On the downside, you can see these cyclicals were down 1.31%. And the high beta stocks were down 1.79%. So yeah, like I said, depending on what kind of investor or trader you are, I tend to navigate mostly around the growth stocks. So for me, I had like one of my positions that got hit. I was long Expedia, so that one got hit. But other than that, all the growth stocks are doing great. Let's take a look at some of these names. Yeah, we'll check them out. So one here. So we had, and let's check out these cryptos. So we talked about these the other day. And I'm very long cryptocurrency and like this theme in general. And we've been in a crypto crash. And I just see the upside for these as so asymmetric to the downside that this was one where I was like, I'm willing to buy, essentially into the crash, because I just don't want to, I don't want to be in that position where it's like, oh man, I don't have the exposure on. But yeah, Ethereum, had a nice day today, and it's still trading 24/7 market here, up 7.81% as of now. And Bitcoin, there was some negative news about Bitcoin where I believe it was Mexico said, hey, we're not effing around with Bitcoin. It's banned here. I believe there was one other thing too. I think it was like BitMEX, the company that was banned in the UK, like their customers couldn't withdraw their funds or something. I don't know what it was, but yeah, we're getting this bad news and Bitcoin is refusing to go down anymore. So to me, that's a pretty good sign. Then MicroStrategy, this is my second largest holding here. MicroStrategy just annihilated the shorts. There's so many galaxy brain investors out there that they say, oh, MicroStrategy is just buying Bitcoin. He's borrowing money to buy the Bitcoin. He's going to blow up. And it's the same exact thing they were saying about Cathie Wood about a month ago. Oh my gosh, she's going to blow up. They were all saying she was going to blow up down here. It's so funny. And MicroStrategy, they're all saying he's going to blow up, down here and down here. So we'll see how it plays out. They could certainly be right, but there's a short float here of almost 25%. So it would be a huge shame if all these short sellers just got a massive squeeze. And it looks like a little bit of that today. This thing still has, a lot of work to do. But yeah, it closed above the key moving averages, which is pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of these names like, Etsy, this is one I've been watching pretty closely. Really nice day today. Roblox, this is one that I currently hold, reclaiming the key moving averages, closed above the 20-day, so looking good. Yeah, and just a lot of these growth names. So if we look at some of the other areas, like Expedia, this is one that I got into on Friday. This one got, obliterated. And intraday, it was down like over 6%. And you can see dip buyers came in and auctioned it up into the close here. So let's take a look. We're going to pull up some of my trades. And where are we here? So this was one, I gave this one a shot, Intelia. And I think this is like a good learning lesson here, because this is one that I will say, I definitely screwed up. So, the good thing though is I entered a small starter position. Intelia was a name that I had on the weekend watch list. We had a nice positive catalyst for this stock. And it was that, I'm certainly not a genomics expert, but they had some sort of breakthrough in terms of their technology and gene editing and curing liver diseases and all that good stuff. And So I had this one on the watch list, and my trigger level for this stock was, just above the prior high. And this one we got a gap higher. Gap up essentially, like, I think it was like a 52% gap. And so I said to myself this morning, hey, I'm still going to try for this name. I'll enter a very small starter position and see maybe this thing goes even higher or whatever. But I ended up stopping out of that position. So I said closed out of my small starter position for 124, spot 1.5, paid 135, spot 8.3. Tried to give this one room, but tough to gauge the risk reward on a gap up like this. So this is a classic example of when something gets too extended. It's very tough to manage your risk on this, because when something gaps up 50%, it could, by the end of the trading session, maybe it only closes up 35%, or maybe it closes up 30%, or maybe it closes up 70%. You really never know. But you can expect when an asset's moving like that, you can have really big swings. So this thing gapped higher. I entered, and this thing really just jostled around. You can see it went all the way down to, like 121 and change. So I ended up getting stopped out of this one. So it really wasn't a big deal. I had like less than 1% of my account in it because I just really wanted to participate. But to be honest, I think this was one where I would not take this entry again. I don't really think this was like, the best strategy here. This one, chalk that up. Just as a learning lesson for me. And then Playboy, this was one I took as a lotto. And I closed out that lotto. I had a July 16th 40 strike call. When I trade a lotto, I typically size it for it to go to 0. But for this one, I was like, I'm going to cut this one early because there's other names that I see that are really moving. And I just wouldn't even want to have, the capital tied up in this, even if it's a very small size. So I put this one with size for max loss, but I'd rather pull it early. Too many stocks making great moves to stick with a name like this. In Playboy, this was one where they had a catalyst. I believe they got included in the Russell, and they also got an analyst upgrade. So I took this one, maybe it'll do something by July. It certainly still could, but this asset was down 3% today on a day where, look at what the NASDAQ did, up 1.22%. So yeah, part of just being like a prudent trader is like, if these assets, like if it doesn't move when the NASDAQ is doing this, and also this one has exposure to crypto, like they're saying they're going to be an NFT play, etc. And we have Ethereum doing this and Bitcoin doing this, and it's not really moving. To me, like it still could have a great move. It still could be a great stock. But I can't justify being in a trade on this asset. So that's kind of how I think of it. In trading, you really just have to think of like, what's the quality of my decision making? It's not always like thinking about the result after the decision because, there's a lot of, chance in trading. It's all about keeping the edge in your favor. So Playboy, it certainly could make a nice advance. But for a stock like this, I think I would rather enter after it's reclaimed these key moving averages. So yeah, other than that, I was not too active today. I did have a lot of names that were working very well, and I just wanted to let those go, but I didn't really want to enter any new names for myself. So that about does it for my trades. Let's take a look at some options order flow. Let's check it out here. So this is, I was checking out the Etsy flow earlier. There wasn't really like too much in terms of Etsy actually. Let's take a look. So let's go to our Tradescape. And we'll zoom out here. This is just for Etsy. And let's check this out. So NVIDIA had a really nice day. And you can see, oh my gosh, almost $1 billion worth of premium for NVIDIA. Let's check out NVIDIA here. Yeah, NVIDIA blasting off. This thing has been, just a super performing stock. This one is all the way up almost at $800. Then we also had, let's see if anything else really sticks out. We had Facebook, that one made a new high. CCIV, $89 million of flow. That's a lot for a small cap name like this. And this one, yeah, up 7.23%. So just for context, this is, let's see if it was actually all calls. Okay, so mostly calls, but this is about $89 million worth of premium. And the float on this is only 155 million shares. Yeah, and the market cap's only 6.43 billion. So that's a significant amount of premium spent on this name. So that's pretty interesting. Definitely interests me to keep watching that name. And let's see if we have one more here. AMC, we're seeing some flow. Boeing, it's kind of interesting. So Coinbase, we saw some call flow. And we've not been seeing call flow in any of these crypto plays, really. And you can see Coinbase had a really nice day, up almost 10%. And this almost looks like a bearish to bullish trend reversal that's setting up here. So yeah, all these crypto names, I think, make a lot of sense right here. And let's see what else we got. We have some SPCE. I think that one closed red on the day. Yeah, closed down 1.91%. Had a monster move yesterday, so it doesn't surprise me all that much that we are consolidating sideways for a day. But that about does it for our options order flow, and that about does it for this market recap video. Hope you all had an awesome trading session, and I will see you all tomorrow.